welcome to Carol's Universe Tarot readings from the heart. So today's reading is for the zodiac sign of Taurus, and this is your year ahead reading, Taurus, for the year 2015. Just to let you know how I do the readings. I juggle the cards, I shuffle the cards as usual, quite vigorously, and this time, instead of picking them intuitively, I'll pick the first 12 from the top. I will then lay them out month by month, okay? And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to split the months into 3. So I'm going to do you sort of an overview reading, how I see potentially through these cards, from January to March, April to June, July through to September, and then October through to December. And each of those months I'm just going to do sort of an overview of what potentially could be happening for you guys in those months. And I then pick a 13th card, which will serve as the general energy and the general advice card in a way, I suppose. The card that sort of sums up the whole of the reading for 2015. Okay. So firstly, also to let you know, Taurus, as I've been telling all of the other signs, this is a general reading, okay? For some of you guys it's going to apply, for some of you guys it won't. For some of you guys, January to March will apply. For some of you guys it might be October to December. For some of you guys it might be all year. It just depends, okay? So this is why we call it a general reading, because it's not a personal reading, it's not a specific to you reading, okay? This is for all of the sign, and for some people it's going to apply and for some people it's not, okay? Okay. So, January to March, what I see for some of you Taurians is that you are successfully going to be fighting your fears, okay? You're going to be kind of defeating anything that was potentially holding you back in 2014, okay? So you're going to be quite victorious, okay? And I'll show you why I say this. I'll show you the 3 cards, actually, that represent that time, January to March 2015. We've got the 5 of Swords, the Page of Cups, and the Emperor. Now, the 5 of Swords is a card that talks about defeating, and I believe it could be defeating a person. The sword suit is all about challenges and overcoming obstacles. So I believe it could either be defeating people or your fears or challenges or obstacles. And I believe that with this card, when we look at this card in the months between January and March, it's about you guys finally kind of overcoming your obstacles, potentially obstacles that you faced over the year 2014 or parts of 2014, and kind of coming through with a renewed kind of vigour and sense of victory in January. You know, to me this card suggests I've finally slain my demons and I'm putting them to rest, and I'm overcoming the obstacles that I was facing then, and I'm approaching 2015 with a new vigour and a new vim, and I'm really going to go out there and do something, and I'm going to really sort of slay all the negative energy that was around me in 2014, and you're the victor. And this really does speak quite heavily to me that this is what some of you Taurians are going to be feeling. And I think because you're going to be going into 2015, those first 3 months with feeling that new kind of energy, that's when you're going to be bringing new stuff in. And this comes in with the Page of Cups. Now the Page of Cups can signify things like the birth of a child, a younger lover coming in, or maybe someone who's quite flirtatious and quite young in their outlook. And, you know, this can also signify new romance. And I certainly think that because it's a Cups card and the Cups suit is all about sort of emotions and feelings, this is about you kind of attracting in new stuff. So it could be new romance, or it could just be new things that make you feel really good about yourself. But it's certainly about the birth of something new coming into your life. And I think that this really works well with this Page of Swords, with the 5 of Swords, because you're actually leaving your, you know, you're leaving your enemies for dead. They're walking away. You know, they haven't won, you've won. And I certainly think that because you're kind of letting go and kind of putting that resistance to bed, and you're literally kind of defeating the obstacles and kind of putting away the old, you know, the old obstacles and the old problems that potentially some of you might have had in 2014. That then allows the universe to bring in all sorts of wonderful things for you. And I certainly think that there's going to be the birth of something new. It could be romance, it could be anything, but because it's a Cups card, I certainly think that this is the birth of you. This is the birth of something new within you, and you're going to be feeling really, really good about it. And when we look about the Emperor card, now the Emperor card, the Emperor is someone who's quite authoritative. He's very successful. He takes charge. He's really assertive. He can also be quite insensitive, though. He's quite sort of logical. He's not really a heart-based person. But I think that if we were talking potentially about love, it could be that you may attract in someone who's quite successful, who's quite authoritative, someone who is very, you know, someone who takes charge, someone who's very kind of go-getting, someone who knows what he wants, someone who is very, you know, just someone who is very mature. Potentially you could attract in someone like that, but I think in terms of how you feel, and because we're looking at the Swords cards, that means challenges and obstacles and that type of thing, and you've slain those things, you've put those things to bed, and you're coming into 2015 with a renewed vigour. I think for a lot of you guys, it's going to be the birth of the new you, the birth of something new in your life between January and March 2015. And I think because it's Cups, as I've said, emotionally you're going to be feeling a lot better, a lot brighter, a lot younger, a lot more vigorous, a lot more happier. And this to me speaks confidence, the Emperor card does. It speaks about, for me, feeling really confident within yourself. So I think for a lot of you guys between January and March, you know, you're going to kind of be putting that beast to bed, you know, that potentially some of you found that you had in 2014, and it's a new you in 2015. And I certainly think you're going to be attracting in potentially love. It could potentially be a younger lover. It could potentially be someone who's quite flirtatious, someone who's quite, you know, upbeat, and someone who makes you feel really alive. Or potentially it could be the Emperor, someone who's quite authoritative and someone who's quite in charge, and someone, you know, who's really, you know, the type of person that's quite stable and all of that type of thing. The only problem I think with attracting in the Emperor or the Page of Cups is that with the Page of Cups, if it's a younger lover, it might be nice at first to attract that type of person in, but you don't really know whether it's... But my feeling on this reading is that these three cards are all about you and how you're actually going to be feeling, and that you are going to be feeling a lot more confident and a lot more assertive and a lot more kind of lighter within yourself. It's a new year, it's a new you, and certainly for some of you guys, because you've slain those obstacles and that negative energy that was potentially around you in 2014, you are going to be coming back with far more positive energy, which is what we find with the Emperor card. And also the Page of Cups, there's definitely the birth of something new coming in, and I think this will be a very positive thing, and I think it's going to make you feel even more confident, which is what we get with the Emperor card. And then we can see from July through to June, sorry, April, sorry. It's very late when I'm recording, so sorry about that. We can see through April through to June that we have the Four of Cups, the Two of Wands, and the Devil card. Now, the Four of Cups, as we know, is a card about kind of, you know, you look at this guy and he's looking really downcast. He's kind of looking at these three upstanding cups, and he's ignoring the one cup that's being offered to him. He's kind of not seeing what's staring him in the face. He's kind of ignoring it. And I think what this card is saying for some of you guys in the months between April and June is that you're not to kind of look a gift horse in the mouth. So if there are opportunities that are coming along, you know, don't ignore them. Look into them, and, you know, there is a window of opportunity opening up to you, so really be on the alert for that kind of thing. Don't kind of ignore it we have the new you coming in between January and March, the new vigorous, happier you. Don't ignore what's being on offer. It could be potentially that this Page of Cups is offering you something here. You know, it could be new love that's coming in for you, the birth of something, the birth of romance. And it could be that, you know, all sorts of things are coming through that, but you're kind of not recognising that. And I think this card is saying, and it could be that the old fears from 2014 are surfacing with the Five of Swords. You know, you've defeated that at the beginning of the year, and it could be that they're just coming up again and you're ignoring what's being offered to you because you're thinking back to potentially things that have not worked out in 2014, and you've got a bit of that fear syndrome. And this is saying, don't fear. You know, accept opportunities, look at the window of opportunities being opened up to you. And also with the Two of Wands, this card really, I suppose, is about having courage to achieve goals and taking risks and asserting yourself. Because if you do find that the old demons are coming back for some of you guys in 2015 when you've been doing so well, to me this card is saying the world is your oyster. You can do anything, you can have anything, but you can only have those things if you are aligned with it and if you feel that confidence within yourself. And you need to take risks and not be afraid to do that. And this, to me, between April and June, it really summed it up with the Devil card as well, because the Devil card is all about being chained to something, you know. A lot of the time it can be about being chained to negative feelings, so feeling negative, feeling bound, feeling fearful, obsessive thinking, for example. So this is why I thought to myself, potentially this negative energy that you were able to get rid of at the start of the year potentially might be something that's still running through your mind. So for some of you guys, it might be that you're still kind of reverting back to type, reverting back to feeling that everything is going really well, and that something's going to crop up and muck it all up for you again. It's that kind of, you know, self-fulfilling prophecy. And what this is saying to me is that you don't have anything to worry about. You don't have anything to worry about at all. It's all going good. And for some of you guys, it might be that in 2014 a lot of stuff wasn't going good for you. And that is difficult to get rid of. It's difficult to get rid of the shackles of negativity and the shackles of, you know, fear once you've experienced it. And sometimes when we have a lot of good stuff coming into our lives, we can't believe our so-called luck. But it's not luck, it's what you actually create. So really what this is saying to me between the months of April through to June is not to be tied to the past, but to realise that there is opportunities opening up to you, and you really need to explore them. Because the Two of Wands, the guy here is an explorer, okay? He's setting out on a journey, and he's going to take a risk, and he's kind of looking out and seeing what he can achieve, and he's got the courage of his convictions to do that. And really this reading here between the months of April and June 2015 is saying, let go of the past, let go of old fears, let go of old adversaries, let go of old ways of thinking, and realise that there is opportunity there for you, but you need to open your eyes to it, and you need to kind of release the past. You've been doing really well up until March. Don't fall back into any negative ways of thinking. For some of you guys, 2014, some experiences may have scarred you, but you're not chained to anything, okay? The only thing that you're chained to is the demons within yourself, potentially, for some of you guys. So you need to release that and, you know, take those risks and take those opportunities, because they could potentially be really good for you. And we've got from July through to September a really, really good 3 months as well. We have the Four of Wands here. We've got the Sun card, and we've got the Two of Pentacles. And the Four of Wands is things like moving home, contentment, a really happy family life, you know, a really happy structure. We've got two people here, a man and a woman, and they're, you know, they're holding up these garlands of flowers, and you know, they're standing in a beautiful, beautiful setting, and there's lots of celebration around. So I certainly think for a lot of you guys between July and September, there's going to be really happy times coming. You know, there's going to be happy family time, friendship time. There's going to be lots and lots of contentment, and this to me was backed up by the Sun card again. The Sun card is just wonderful because it's just about, you know, positivity and happiness and having fun and having your dreams realised, and the sun really shining a light on you and feeling really good about life and going back to childlike innocence and just having a really good time. And I think some of you guys are going to have a really, really good time between those months. You're going to be juggling a lot of things. This is with the Two of Pentacles. You're going to be juggling potentially a lot of work, your home life, your friends, that type of thing. But I think it's going to be enjoyable. I think you're going to have a really good work-life balance going on between those months. And I think once you get over the initial stage of feeling a little bit fearful that everything is going too good, and that potentially, you know, when things are going so good, something must go wrong. Once you potentially get over that old way of thinking for some of you guys, and once you potentially get over that old way of, you know, living your life and that old way of doing things, and once you release the chains of that negativity and fearfulness, you will find that things are just going to carry on going really, really well for you. And the final 3 months we've got from October through to December, it's a really nice reading. We have the Three of Wands, the Page of Swords, and the Justice card. And actually I've got that the wrong way around. Justice, Page of Swords, and the Three of Wands. Okay, so I think with these cards it says to me that just more stuff is coming in for you. Okay, it says to me that potentially for some of you guys something could be coming in for you that you need to be prepared for, and you need to kind of think about it. Okay, because the Justice card, whilst it's all about balance and kind of things coming full circle and, you know, fairness and evenness and all that good stuff, it's also about thinking things through rationally and thinking about something rationally before you go ahead and make a decision. Okay, and coupled to me with the Page of Swords, it's all about, again, using reason and logic. So usually the Page of Swords would denote new stuff potentially coming in, but the new stuff that comes in potentially having its challenges and its obstacles, and maybe it's something that comes in that you need to think about doing. So it could be maybe a new project, or it could be maybe a new going in a different direction. And I think this comes in with the Three of Wands somewhere along the line, because the Three of Wands is about a journey, taking an adventure, following your dreams, taking action, making plans, because the guy in the Three of Wands is really an explorer, and he has clearly kind of worked out a route to where he wants to go. So I think for some of you guys between October and December, there will be a new journey coming up for you, and this could be in anything. And I think it's something that you're going to need to think about logically, because there will be potentially maybe something that you need to sacrifice for it, or potentially there could be, you know, something that might be difficult with it, or not difficult in a bad way, but something that may require you to make a sacrifice or some sort of challenge with it, or something like that. But to me, this is all about saying, you know, I want to go on this journey, but I really need to explore the pros and cons of it. I need to weigh it up. I need to really, really think about it. So I definitely think between October and December, there's something definitely coming in that is going to require you to think about whether you want to go for it or not. But I think in the end, that potentially some of you guys will go for it. It will be a new journey that you take, a new path that you're taking. And that will require some sort of confidence and assurance, self-assurance, and from yourself. So it's something you're going to need to think about, definitely. But in no way do I think it's a bad thing or anything like that. I just think it's something that you'll potentially need to think about, because there could be some sort of self-sacrifice involved in that decision. And your overall card for 2015 is the Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Wands is very self-assured. She knows exactly what she wants. She's a brilliant multitasker. You know, she could do her makeup and paperwork at the same time. She is just a very confident person, and she's also really good at just juggling her life. As I've said, she's a multitasker, so she's kind of got it all. And I think that this card for the overall reading is saying in 2015 for you guys, it's all about your confidence, okay? It's all about having a clear route to success for you guys, and really kind of acting on that, and not being afraid to take risks, and not being afraid to juggle the different things that you have to do within your life. When I see this card, these cards for 2015 for you, Taurus, I think it's a really good reading. I really, really do. I mean, I think primarily in 2014 for some of you Taurians, there may have been some fears there. There may have been some issues that were going on, and I think for you guys, you've had to fight that off. Definitely. You've had to fight stuff off. And in 2015, you kind of just crash in with a big bang, and you say, no, I'm going to put this beast to bed because I want my life to be different. And I think you do that very, very well, and the universe rewards you for that in all sorts of ways. But I think at times during 2015, those old fears may surface, and they have the potential to hold you back. But I don't believe that you will be held back, because I believe that through this reading, especially through April to June, you will fight those kind of negative, you know, obstructive thoughts that potentially go around in your head, that everything's going so good, something's got to go wrong. I think a lot of you guys will fight those thoughts, and through fighting those little thoughts, you will come to a point where you will really be going full steam ahead. There's a lot of happiness in these cards. There's a lot of thinking that you're going to need to do in the year, potentially about something that's coming in, potentially about something, an offer that's being made that potentially you'll need to sacrifice something for, or you know, you'll really need to think about. But I think the journey, it will lead you onto a journey that is really quite prosperous and, you know, happy, and your ships are going to be coming in because of that. And I think this card is really saying that you can have it all. You can definitely have it all. But in order to have it all, you need to put your fears to bed, and you need to not let those little niggling thoughts that we all get, that potentially we're not good enough, or it's going to go wrong, or you don't know whether you want to do it because of this or this. You need to put that to bed, because you've already proved at the beginning of the year that you can put your fears to bed. And when you put your fears to bed, all sorts of wonderful things just start to manifest for you. So Taurus, that's your reading for the year ahead, 2015. The next reading you can expect from me very soon is your Law of Attraction tarot card reading. And this is my tarot deck by the Law of Attraction. It's called the Law of Attraction tarot deck. And this is all what you can expect to manifest in terms of universal law within the year 2015. So please look out for that video, and I will see you very, very soon. And just to let you know, anyone who's been asking me about private